World Cup USA 94 on Real TV, TSN. You're watching TSN, the sports network, home of World Cup 94.
Pele, the king. He led a Brazilian team that ruled the soccer world from 1958 to 1970. The Brazilians had flair, charisma, creativity. But most of all, they knew how to win. 3 World Cups in a span of 12 years, a record that has never been equaled. But in 1974, the team adopted a more conservative style, and since then has not won a single World Cup. The most recent humiliation, falling to arch-rival Argentina in the quarterfinals of Italia 90. But this year, Brazil's rabid fans may just have something to cheer about. Manager Carlos Pereira has brought back the old Brazilian style. And he has turned loose Romario, perhaps the world's most exciting player. The man who reminds many of a great Brazilian hero from days gone by. From Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, it's World Cup Exhibition Soccer. Canada takes on world powerhouse Brazil from Edmonton. TSN World Cup Exhibition Soccer is brought to you by MasterCard. No other card is accepted in more places worldwide than MasterCard. Not Visa, not American Express, MasterCard. Your card for life. This stadium was built in 1978 for the friendly games, the Commonwealth Games. Today, it's the site of a friendly match, soccer style, as Canada faces Brazil in front of what will be a huge crowd in Edmonton. Hi, everybody, and welcome to World Cup Exhibition Soccer here on TSN. I'm Gord Miller. The crowd could approach 60,000 today, but surprisingly enough, it's pretty much split between Brazil and Canada. It's hard to put into words the passion the Brazilians bring out in their own country and elsewhere. This team is a major World Cup favorite, and here are some of the reasons why. They are the 3-time champions. Their World Cup record, 44, 11, and 11, 4-time South American champions. With me now on the sidelines is one of our TSN soccer veterans, Dick Howard. Dick, it's been a long time since Brazil brought back the glory to that country. Is this the team that can do it?
It could well be it. I was talking to Carlos Pereira last night. He talked about a return to the roots of Brazilian soccer, a return to the traditional style of play of Brazilian teams of the past. Great depth. He said he had difficulty picking the final 22. You look at the players in every position, there are players that can come in and do the job. Very experienced coaching staff. Pereira himself, 3rd World Cup finals, an assistant who played in 58, played in 62, coached the team in 1970. They're the team to beat.
All right, let's go back now to our TSN World Cup soccer veterans. Here are Vic Rauter and Graham Leggett.
Thank you, Gord. Hello again, everyone. The Canadian team is coming off a 1-1 tie this past week with Morocco in Montreal, a result that was a good result and expected. What's not expected is a good Canadian result today, Graham, but you say whatever the result, whatever the score, it's really unimportant as far as Canada's concerned.
It's of least importance today. The main thing is that the close to 60,000 fans are entertained by the most attractive football playing side in the whole world. And for the Canadian players, a no-pressure situation. Go out and have fun, and it certainly will be a learning experience.
The people here are going to get a chance to see possibly the greatest player in the world today. Some people think that Romario of Brazil, their striker, is even better than Italy's Roberto Baggio. But on his day, Graham?
On his day, absolute dynamite. Brilliant acceleration, superb balance, and one thing to watch for today, folks, his first touch. Absolutely magic.
So we will see Bebeto, Romario, Hai, Tafarel. My goodness, it's a star-studded lineup, these Brazilians. And we'll have the kickoff for you moments from now, Gord.
It's a long way from Brazil to northern Alberta, but the world comes together today at Commonwealth Stadium. Brazil and Canada are coming up next.
Wearing number 8 is the 30-year-old Dunga. Let's take a look at the starting 11 put on the field for Brazil by their head coach, Carlos Alberto Pereira. And except for a couple of injuries, 9 of these players will start in their first game at the World Cup against Russia.
And it's a very flexible 4-4-2. Taffarel, Jorginho, Aldair, and Ricardo Gomez, the back four. Midfield four, Leonardo, Mauro Silva, Dunga and Zinho, and up front, Rai, Babetto, and Romario.
And there he is, the 28-year-old forward who plays with Barcelona in Spain, is Romario, and he up front with Babetto. Romario considered one of the best in the world today, if indeed not the best player. Now the starting 11 for Canada and their head coach, Bob Lenarduzzi.
Canada also going with a 4-4-2. Craig Forrest in goal, Yallop, Watson, Samuel, and Fraser the back four. Carter, Colin Miller, Limniadis, and Dasovic in midfield. Dominic Mobilio and Carlo Coruscant, the two strikers.
The head coach for the Canadian national team is Bob Lenarduzzi, a World Cup veteran himself from 1986, has been head of this Canadian team for a couple of years now, and says, quite honestly, we are going to go out, Graham, and try to frustrate the Brazilians. The difficulty, will they be frustrated by Canada?
Well, frustration is a useful term in soccer, but these Brazilians are so full of confidence. I think that the Canadians have just got to go out and play their own game and just try and keep pace with the yellow shirts. It's going to be a big task, but boy, this should be a terrific matchup.
The official, the referee, is from Mexico, makes his home in El Paso, Texas. That is Antonio Marufa Mendoza. The two linesmen are Canadian. In fact, all three officials and the fourth official are Canadian. Working the near sideline will be Mr. Gordon Rogers, the far sideline, John Nielsen, and the fourth official is Mike Seifer. There is Mr. Mendoza, who will handle this game, and he works in the Mexican National League. This is the final tune-up for Brazil before they open World Cup '94 in the United States. Up front for Canada, Carlo Coruscant, number 16, and Dominic Mobilio as we are underway. Dasovic, Coruscant. Dasovic plays it forward. Mobilio. Dasovic makes the overlapping run. We look for Ian Carter on the wide left for Canada. They play it back for Mark Watson, the starting fullback, and it's intercepted by Leonardo. Wide right, Romario. IE has made a run, and it will be the first touch for Romario.
And a buzz of expectancy every time Romario goes anywhere near the ball. His reputation has preceded him, and Carlos Pereira obviously wants a good result here against Canada.
Has coached two other teams, so he now takes his third club to a World Cup. Also coached Kuwait in '82, the United Arab Emirates in '90, and now Brazil in '94. Dunga tried to play the little give and go with Jorginho, the starting right fullback, and look where Jorginho was.
Well, don't be surprised if number 2 Jorginho and number 6 Leonardo play like right and left wingers. The fullbacks love to come forward. Babetto plays a little bit deeper than Romario up front, but the midfield players are all brilliant ball players.
The starting keeper for Canada, the 26-year-old Craig Forrest from Ipswich Town of the English Premier Division, will receive his 24th international cap for Canada. Leonardo, Zinho. The give and go is intercepted by Mark Watson at midfield for Canada. Mobilio turns away from Mauro Silva. Oh, Colin Miller, Limniadis couldn't break through for Canada. Zinho, and then off the Canadian, Limniadis, throw in for Brazil. Leonardo. Ricardo Gomes. Aldair. Aldair, a late substitute for Ricardo Rocha, who was listed to start, Graham, but has injury.
Well, it eliminated a problem for us because we had Ricardo and Ricardo as the two centre-backs. Now we've got one, Ricardo Gomes, and Aldair, so it's a little easier for us.
Canadian captain. Puts it into play. Ian Carter gives chase. Does well to hook it into play. Carlo Corazine, who plays with Cambridge United in just his second international for Canada, and he will go to the near post.
And up comes big Randy Samuel to the far post for this corner kick.
John Limniadis. Aldair heads it away.
Offside.
Called by the near side linesman, Mr. Gordon Rogers. Play just over 4 minutes of this first half. Canada and Brazil from Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Alberta. Limniadis hooks it for Miller. Leonardo. Gomes. Dunga. Aldair. Gomes. Leonardo, as the Brazilians now try to stretch it out. Zinho. And they'll play it back through Gomes, and they can't get by the halfway line.
Oh, but they've still got possession, and Canada doing a good job of getting goal side of the ball. Right at the moment, the Brazilians just trying to get into the stride, but we saw there a taste of how they can keep the ball. 18 passes in a row.
Has that rule meant much to the game? No pass backs to the keeper?
It certainly means that the goalkeeper has to be a little more agile with his feet than he used to be, and it certainly gives the strikers a lot more opportunity to go in and cash in on a loose clearance by the goalkeeper.
There was Dunga trying to find the angled run of Romerio. A lot of pressure expected to be on Craig Forrest. As you say, the Brazilians will shoot from anywhere and everywhere.
Especially from free kicks. Unfortunately, Branco, the free kick specialist, is not playing today at fullback for Brazil, but they have capable substitutes.
Deep run for Corazine, and it'll run too far. Carlo Corazine now plays with Cambridge United in England after spending a couple of years playing in the Italian 3rd and 2nd divisions.
One of 7 players in this Canadian squad that play in the English Premier, English 1st and English 2nd divisions, and they're doing really well. Nice to see them do well.
Jorginho from Bayern Munich.
Not very often you see that. Perhaps the best team in the world getting called for a false throw.
John Limniadis. Ian Fraser. Little flick through. Onside Mobilio, and he cut it out in front looking for Nick Dasovic, and Tafarel makes his first touch.
Well read by the Reggiani goalkeeper, Tafarel. Just not quite enough force on the cutback to get it past the goalkeeper, but the Brazilian keeper very quick to come off his line. Reads the game so well.
Fraser for Carter. Colin Miller from St. Johnstone takes control. Mobilio tries to cut it across and does! Through the box and past Corazine. This is Dasovic. Leonardo is right there for Brazil as Canada, with just over 9 minutes gone in the first half, starting to take the play to Brazil. Throw in.
Big kick. That was unlucky. Carlo Corazine tried to do an overhead kick, and they didn't see the captain Dunga come in behind him, cut it right in the face. Dunga. Free kick blown right away by referee Antonio Maruco Mendoza. You know, over the years, Brazil have never been noted for their goalkeepers. Gilmar, of course, has been goalkeeper for years and years, and his descendants, it seems always the goalkeeper for Brazil's Gilmar. The problem was Brazil was so good, the goalkeeper very seldom got anything to do. He's offside, or should have been.
It's Jorginho making the run from his right fullback spot, and the throw in, and Jorginho not happy with it, will go to Canada. The far side linesman, John Nielsen. Colin Miller, the Canadian captain, will play the square ball to this near side, and in front of Mark Watson, behind Dasovic. And the coach Carlos Pereira with a quick word to Leonardo. Gomes has a look. Little push.
Little push by Mark Watson.
Pomerio. Dunga.
Look out.
Carlos Silva.
They are not afraid to try a shot from anywhere. Mauro Silva there, not at all satisfied with that effort. And nor is Carlos Pereira, the coach. He is not impressed.
Remarkable amount of pressure the Brazilian fans put on their team, including their head coach, Carlos Pereira, as we played 10 minutes of this first half at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, and we are still goalless. Canada and Brazil. Craig Forrest with Bebeto up and challenging. Mark Watson wins it. Limniadis. Dasovic looking for some space and surrounded quickly by 3 yellow shirts. And Mark Watson with Zinho on his back. Plays it all the way back. And now the Canadians are caught. Offside. Far side linesman has blown it down. And that is Mr. John Nielsen.
And the Brazilian bench is not at all pleased, but there were 2 offside players for Brazil there. And of course, we spoke about putting pressure on the goalkeeper. Bad clearance by Forrest, picked up by number 9 Zinho, but Romario could not convert it, and the linesman flag was up anyway.
And Romario's chance and the way he took it seemed to indicate that he knew Limniadis.
It looked closer from up here than it did on the field, that one. I know Romario had the whistle going. He had stopped because we saw them practice yesterday, and he was slotting these home 10 out of 10. Never missed once. It's brilliant when he breaks clear.
Aldair. Ian Carter up and challenging. No one has ever questioned the offense of the Brazilians. Graham, it's defensively where there has always been, or seemingly, a problem. We'll score. We'll gladly give up 5 because we know we're going to score 6. Has that changed?
That's changed dramatically. They've realized that they cannot go the 7 games it takes to win the World Cup with only just forwards to rely on. And you'll see that this defense is well marshaled, strong in the air, and they still can use the ball. So they still love to put work on the ball. Okay.
Mark Watson.
Well covered by Mark Watson there. Romario's so quick off the mark that when he turns, he's about 3 steps ahead of his marker.
Oh, Limniadis tried to slide it through. Here's a chance. Corazine! And getting over neatly was Ricardo Gomes. He plays his soccer in Paris Saint-Germain, Ricardo Gomes. Leonardo.
Well, we were speaking about the defense of the Brazilians. Ricardo Gomes comes diving in here to block this shot. Lots of courage, and his timing was perfect.
Dunga at midfield. Zinho, this is Bebeto. Oh, and they just slow off the mark as again they're trying to find those little angled runs through the back four, and it was directed towards Romario.
I'm really surprised that they're trying to go through the middle with Randy Samuel and Frank Yallop, two very experienced defenders there. I thought perhaps they would have gone wide on the wings, bring the fullbacks forward, but right now it's still the opening stages. They're trying to field away, and Canada is doing a super job in containing them so far.
Now Canada comes near sideline.
Oops,
Dasovic on really what is a terrific field. The pitch is in great shape.
Magnificent condition, and there was a little rain shower overnight, so the ball is skidding just a little bit. You saw Dasovic lose his footing there as Yallop tangles with Bebeto. See, that's the markup that Samuel's going to take Romario and Frank Yallop's going to take Bebeto.
Leonardo, Zinho, Mauro Silva, Aldair as they play the ball square. Bebeto is in the middle. Romario falls back. Dunga under some pressure. Gets away from the Canadian captain, Colin Miller, and now played through, and Watson plays it back again for Forrest. Leonardo can't control off his chest, and possibly a break now for Canada as Corazine volleys the ball harmlessly to Tafarel.
The intention was good. Ian Carter had broken on the left wing, but Carlo Corazine could not quite get the pass across to him. And there we see again that Tafarel dribbles outside the box rather than kick it from hand, prefers to kick it from the turf.
Randy Samuel plays his soccer in Holland with Fortuna Sittard. Leonardo, Mauro Silva, Bebeto, Dunga. Ai plays it wide right. Jorginho is overlapping Mauro Silva. Ai, Leonardo, Zinho, Leonardo. And if you're Canada, well, I guess you're quite content to let them play all they want as long as they don't get through.
As long as they don't get behind you, Canada doing a good job of getting their side of the ball, picking the man up, and so far Forrest has not been tested.
Mauro Silva, Gomes, Frank Yallop, Ian Fraser, Colin Miller, Lindy Addison. Finally, somebody brings it down to feet. Miller for Mark Watson. And a push in behind on Corazine by Ricardo Gomes. Gomes, the captain of the 1990 Brazilian World Cup team. The ball skips by Dominic Mobilio. The former Golden Boot winner, the top scorer in the Canadian Soccer League in 1991, scored 25 goals. Dominic Mobilio currently plays for the Vancouver 86ers of the APSL. Ian Fraser, who they say had a very strong game, Graham, against Morocco this past week in Montreal. And certainly if you're Canada, you have to be very happy with the start.
Absolutely delighted Bobby Lenarduzzi must be, because he's not really sat back and defended against this Brazilian side. He's gone forward as much as he dare, I suppose you could say, and so far everything's going fine.
Ooh, they tried to spin Jorginho wide right, and Ian Carter was back and made a nice play for Canada defensively. Ai, Aro Silva trying to get away from Limniadis. Zinho, Ai, Leonardo. Oh, is this lovely, a little cheeky, and they're not going to get away with it.
Yeah, foul against Zinho as he comes in against Dasovic, but beautiful skills and the capacity crowd here. Actually, there's still spectators coming into the ground, but the large crowd here absolutely thrilled to see this Brazilian side push it around like this. Little 1-2, little back healer, cheeky as you said, but the foul against Dasovic blown down right away as Zinho comes in from behind. But that's what the crowd came here to see. Good control. Dasovic goes down. Little back healers. First touch by the Brazilian squad. Absolutely fabulous.
There are only some 150, maybe 200 Brazilians who live in the Edmonton area, but there are certainly more than that here. Bebeto, here's a lovely Romario.
Canada stopping to look for offside as Romario and Bebeto do a brilliant crossover. Watch this pass from Bebeto, and watch the run by Romario. Looked a little offside, but good work by Craig Forrest, cut down the angle and forced Romario to push it wide. Watch this pass by number 7 Bebeto. Behind him, brilliant run by Romario. The finish, not what you'd expect from one of the world's top strikers, but boy, the crossover run was absolutely perfect.
Almost got the feeling that Romario didn't know where he was, that he may have been a little too deep to try that. Going for the far post. Here's another opportunity again as he tried to find Romario, but this time it is Yallop getting back for Canada. As now, with just over 20 minutes played in this first half, it is Brazil who take the play to Canada. Dominic Mobilio, Aldair will win the ball from him. The modern age of football, of soccer, you work out your strategy on a computer.
Well, I would have thought if there was one team that a computer would not help, it would be Brazil, because they are so flexible. They make it up as they go along, so maybe the computers to see what they're going to have for dinner tonight.
They are not computer-like in their play, certainly. The long ball to find Jorginho wide right. Doesn't get by Ian Carter. Romario. Here's Bebeto trying to get through. Bebeto tries to flip it over Forrest and can't.
And Brazil now getting a little more room.
Zinho. Leonardo. Leonardo edge of the box. Play on, says the referee. Mr. Mendoza.
Well, once again, the Brazilians' acceleration in the first touch catches Canada a little asleep at the back, but Craig Forrest a little too tall to be taken in by that chip.
Forrest to the edge of the Brazilian box. Dasovic will try to control. Dasovic tried to slide it through and can't. Aldair was there for Brazil. As this crowd of some 55,000 getting more and more into this game. Ai. Now, here comes Brazil. Mauro Silva looking for Romario. Mark Watson. Bebeto is guilty of the foul on Dasovic. The 30-year-old who plays his soccer with Deportivo in Spain. At the edge of the box. Jorginho will win it.
Brilliant control by Haid.
And he'll play it for Taparel.
Ooh, that was close.
Very close as Mobilio had moved up the challenge. Bebeto. Look at Leonardo make the run. Leonardo, and out comes Greg Forrest. If Leonardo was going to get the game, he would have to run around Mark Watson, and Watson was doing a good job to shield him away.
And once again, Craig Forrest read it well, came off his line well, but what a brilliant pass by Bebeto. Cut it with the outside of his foot.
Oh, looking for the foul, don't get it. Aldair with some space right side. Dunga makes the run as they play it back instead. This is Homerio. Homerio! And Craig Forrest is there for Canada.
Great goalkeeping by Craig Forrest, but what a delightful through ball cut once again with the outside of his foot straight into the path of Homerio. Watch this through ball cut in there. Homerio gets to it first, hits it for the far post. Brilliant save by Craig Forrest. This is a beautiful through ball cut with the outside of his foot. Homerio gets to it first. It's heading for the far post, doesn't quite get enough pace on it, and Forrest's able to block it. So far, Craig Forrest looking very sound between the pipes for Canada.
Jorginho. Haid. Now the through ball. Look at Jorginho. Jorginho and across. Bebeto off the post. Bebeto was right there. And it remains scoreless. Brazil and Canada. Bebeto puts one off the post.
This would have been a magnificent goal, a perfect cross to the far post. Craig Forrest stranded at the near post. Bebeto powers it, and it comes back off the post. What a run by Jorginho. Cuts it across. Bebeto times his run perfectly, or his jump perfectly, and it rattles off the post. Brilliant play, and you see how dangerous the Brazilian fullbacks are. Jorginho playing like a right winger, clipped that to the far post beautifully, and Bebeto so close, but it's still scoreless.
One of the criticisms of Carlos Alberto Pereira by the people in Brazil is that with so much offensive talent, he only plays two people up front in Bebeto and Homerio. But when you have people overlapping like Jorginho and Leonardo, you have four people.
Yeah, the two people up front can become seven people up front in a big hurry with the four midfielders and two fullbacks.
Mobilio for Canada. It'll be a throw in. Ian Carter. He plays with Peterborough in England. Ian Fraser. Square ball looking for Dasovic near side and will run too far. We've played 25 minutes. Brazil and Canada. The World Cup friendly on TSN.
Excuse me.
When hunger strikes, wolf down a Snickers, loaded with peanuts, caramel, nougat, and real milk chocolate. Snickers really satisfies. When your stomach growls, wolf one down.
Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium. Exhibition World Cup Soccer on TSN. Canada and Brazil. Vic Roeder along with Graham Leggett. Gord Miller, Dick Howard along as well to provide some halftime analysis. Good opportunities for the Brazilians, and they have failed to capitalize. The best by Bebeto as his header rattled off the post. Omario gets away from Colin Miller. Omario lays it back. Aye. Bebeto. Mauro Silva. Mauro Silva makes the run. He still has it. Mauro Silva. As it rattles off Colin Miller and gathered in. Not in time for Canada and Craig Forrest. It will be a Brazilian corner.
And the Brazilians are going to bring Aldair up, the big centre-back.
Zinho, far post. Aldair is there. Punched away by Forrest as the Canadians actually got in the way of each other, Graham.
Good timely tackle by Nick Dasovic as Craig Forrest did well to palm out Aldair's header, the big centre-back, brilliant in the air.
Zinho again to take this corner for Brazil. Here, and punched away by Forrest, and then kicked away by Mobilio. Mauro Silva lays it back for Tafarel.
Not at all afraid to use Tafarel as a sweeper. He can use the ball.
Leonardo, Bebeto. Oh, lovely give and go. Leonardo squares it through. And then neatly coming back was Frank Yallop. But they're turning it on, Graham.
They're beginning now to find some more space. I think the ball cut back would have been more effective, and good interception by Frank Yallop saves the day.
Far post and punched away. Here's an opportunity. Dunga, Zinho squares it. This is Bebeto. Dasovic over to challenge. Far post. And it'll run and stay in play as Ian Carter is there for Canada.
Keep going.
Bob Lenarduzzi and his bench. Coach Alan Arrington alongside for 20 minutes, staying with the Brazilians. And in fact, it's still scoreless. But the Brazilians have had the run of play for about the last 10 to 15 minutes. Lovely through ball as the defender Carter gets trapped. Cut across. Oh my. Getting back and heading it over. Randy Samuel, member of Canada's World Cup side in '86 in Mexico.
Well, this is a great interception by Randy Samuel, but it could quite easily have gone rocketing into the net. Did the wise thing, headed it over the crossbar, didn't risk putting it back into play.
Was Ricardo Gomes, and then it just seemed to hang there by the bar, and Craig Forrest reached to the clouds to pull it down.
Well, 6'6", Craig Forrest, no problem at all for the big goalkeeper, although...
And hooked away as it got caught up. Nick Dasovic gets away from Leonardo, chips it through, looking for some support and didn't get it as Corazine may have gotten a little bump. And the Brazilians will bring it back the other way. Aldair. Aldair, the late starter for the injured Ricardo Rocha.
50-50 raffle tickets are being sold in the stands until the end of halftime. Proceeds go to the Edmonton Soccer Association and the Phoenix Theater. The more tickets sold, the more tax to win. You know, we should buy the owners.
Dasovic wins it from Leonardo. Corazine. And simply not enough speed to get away from the Brazilians. Carlo Corazin quickly surrounded. One thing we should mention, Graham, that because this is a friendly, both sides have agreed that they will make more than the 2 allowed substitutions. They will make as many as 5 outfield players as well as 1 goaltender. So we could have as many as 6 substitutions in the game. Dunga. Limniadis challenge, and Dunga will take the free kick and take it quickly. Romario gets away. Mauro Silva. Ai. Bebeto. Zinho is wide left. Romario. Bebeto, and the little give and go is given away. Played back by Forrest, and he'll play it past the midfield stripe. Corazin tries to find some control and does. Mobilio is wide left, but Corazin looks to be a tired player right now. And being leaned on by Ricardo Gomes. Colin Miller hooked it into the middle, and there were no Canadians there. Aldair. Jorginho is wide right, and he'll make the deep run. It's an offside run, and now he hustles back. Oh, Mario. Looked like he might try to play it to himself there, Graham, and actually gave it away.
Well, I think he was trying to play a 1-2 with Hai, and Hai didn't want anything to do with it.
At midfield, this is Ian Fraser for Canada. To the captain, Colin Miller, to Limniadis. Dasovic. And Dasovic charged with the foul as we've played 35 minutes. And we are still scoreless. Brazil, Canada from Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton.
And the Brazilians, they are keen to get on with the free kick, while Mr. Mendoza was having a little word with Dasovic. Now we're all ready to go again, and it's Brazil on the ball.
Aldair.
They're quite content to just push it around, just wait for the perfect opening, then they strike very quickly.
Mauro Silva, Jorginho, Ai. Through for Bebeto, and he's brought down, no foul.
Great tackle.
Play on, says Mr. Mendoza. Looking for Mobilio. Gomes under some pressure from Carlo Corazin. Mobilio is up for a little more attacking support. Give away by Canada, and this is Romario. Bebeto breaks wide right. Romario!
Good effort.
8.5 minutes remaining first half. Canada-Brazil in Edmonton.
MasterCard, the official World Cup USA 94 sponsor.
Hi, I'm Bob Lenarduzzi, head coach of Canada's World Cup team.
Hi, I'm Craig Forrest of Canada's World Cup soccer team and of Ipswich Town of the English Premier League.
Do you want to know how I keep myself informed of the international soccer scene? By reading Soccer Canada, Canada's premier soccer magazine.
Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada-Brazil, a World Cup friendly. Brazil's final tune-up game before they open the World Cup against Russia. Jorginho, Zinho, Romario, oh, Leonardo takes a shot and goes for the near post.
A little selfish because there were 3 yellow shirts screaming for the ball. A beautiful ball by Romario, but watch the yellow shirts in the middle waiting for the cross, and they're not at all pleased that it didn't come square. But these fullbacks love to break through. Leonardo there playing like a left winger. A beautiful ball by Romario. They can almost sense, like as if they got eyes in the back of their head to see these runs made behind them. Ooh.
Well, they come second nature, Graham. That's just the place to be. That's the open space, and if I fill it, maybe the ball will come to me.
No, maybe the ball will certainly come to me. Incredible. But so far, Canada more than holding their own.
Leonardo near side. Zinho at midfield. And the Brazilians now not making the kind of runs that we've seen for the past 15 or so minutes. Colin Miller's surrounded by Dunga and
Lester
Bebeto.
George, please send to the media center on the main concourse for an urgent message. That's Lester George.
Jorginho. Hai. Mauro Silva. John Limniadis there to challenge for Canada as they look for Romario. Zinho and Mark Watson will head it into touch. Leonardo. Romario. Dunga. Zinho holds off the challenge. Here's Romario. Romario plays it through, and here comes Forrest as he was looking for Bebeto and Hai to make runs.
Not a bad ball at all, but Frank Yallop and Randy Samuel were goal side of the ball, and Craig Forrest mopped up as he's done for most of the game.
And the ball, as they try to spring Zinho down this left wing, runs into touch. Mark Watson, the 23-year-old who plays his soccer now in Watford in England.
I was surprised that they started Mark Watson at right back and played Frank Yallop at centre half, because Frank's more comfortable at right back, and Mark certainly has been brilliant in qualifying as a centre back. But obviously Bobby wanted the two experienced players, Yallop and Samuel, picking up Bebeto and Romario.
Dasovic. Opportunity. Here's Colin Miller. Miller! And Caffarel making only his second touch. Samuel Miller at midfield. Dunga. Mauro Silva. As they try to play it through the Canadians, very close at midfield. Zinho, Romario, Bebeto, overlaps. Here's Romario. Oh my goodness. Romario tried to find Hai, and it was only Randy Samuel who cut off the pass. Leonardo, Bebeto. Romario's in the middle. It opens up Bebeto and over the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, at halftime, we'll be drawing the numbers of the Edmonton Journal Canada flag cards.
Big play by Bebeto, a brilliant run by Leonardo, created the space. Unfortunately, the final shot was high, but he certainly made space for himself beautifully. Leonardo starts the move, then takes the defender with him by making that run down the left. That gives Bebeto a chance to cut inside. It sits beautifully for him, but that really isn't the finish he was looking for.
Mark Watson to take the throw in for Canada. Looking for Mobilio. Dunga will take control. This is Aldair. And past Bebeto, who was caught a little flat-footed. Best opportunities have belonged to Brazil. One off the post by Bebeto. It remains goalless Canada. And Brazil, this World Cup friendly from Edmonton, Alberta, and Commonwealth Stadium. John Limniadis, as Colin Miller is out there, the Canadian captain directing traffic, pointing. Leonardo. And Graham, for one of the few times we're seeing the Brazilians not making any kind of runs. And if they don't make space, they don't go anywhere either.
Well, that's the first ball that Leonardo has wasted. He's been absolutely letter perfect so far.
It looks like Mobilio may have taken a boot on the side of the face. Randy Samuel hustles back with Bebeto, stride for stride.
Fabulous Sunday for a soccer game. The Canadian Soccer Association, thank you for coming out. Let's hear it for these two teams.
Well, I didn't see any collision with Dominic. Ball played away. Doesn't seem to have been any contact while the ball was there. Dominic maybe getting a little sunstroke, but certainly there was no contact made there.
Jorginho went down on the far side of the field for Brazil, but he's up again and back into play. Ian Carter, as we're into the final few moments of this first half. Leonardo, Nick Dasovic! Oh, and Tafarel.
Nick Dasovic must have heard me say in the pre-game show the Brazilians will shoot from anywhere. That was a brilliant shot by Nick Dasovic. Tafarel a little complacent about the shot, almost let it dribble over his shoulder into the net. Great job by Dasovic.
Gomes with the foul. And it is Carlo Carazin who is down. And
Carlo Carazin and Dominic Mobilio are having no success at all in challenging Ricardo Gomes and Aldair in the air. The two centre-backs for Brazil are brilliant, and they go in very strongly for the ball.
Looking for Limniadis. Ian Carter moves up. Now it's hooked towards this far post. Gomes is up. Dasovic under pressure by Zinho. Dasovic trying to turn and can't. And it'll bounce off of the Canadian player. Throw in for Brazil. Into injury time by our watch. Frank Gallup from Ipswich will play it back to his Ipswich keeper. In Forrest. Kick will give the Brazilians a late throw-in, quickly taken by Leonardo. Romario. Bebeto makes a run, looks to decoy. Romario.
Yeah. You can't back off Romario because he just slides past you, and that's what we came here to see. The Brazilian flags are waving, and Romario, they expected this kind of performance. That's the kind of brilliant goals that have brought him fame and fortune for Barcelona. Craig Forrest really powerless. Romario decides to do it all on his own. Canadian defenders thinks it could be a 1-2. He keeps possession, chips it through, cuts inside, fakes to shoot, creates space. Forrest gets a hand to it, but cannot prevent it going into the far corner. Brilliant goal, typically Brazilian. And from behind the goal, Craig Forrest can see it from this angle. Beats 1-2, three people with just a little pass to himself. Decides this is not the angle he wants to shoot from. Good effort by Craig Forrest, but it's 1-0 Brazil.
And Romario's goal comes in the 45th minute, just before the whistle from Mr. Mendoza to end this first half here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. So Brazil on the board with a 1-0 lead over Canada. And Romario quick to answer questions from the more than 150 members of the Brazil media who have come to Edmonton to cover this World Cup friendly. Still to come, halftime highlights with Graham as well as Dick Howard and his analysis. When we return to Edmonton, it's World Cup Exhibition Soccer, Brazil and Canada, and it's only right here on TSN.
Hi, I'm Bob Lenarduzzi, head coach of Canada's World Cup team.
Hi, I'm Craig Forrest of Canada's World Cup soccer team and of Ipswich Town of the English Premier League.
Do you want to know how I keep myself informed of the international soccer scene? By reading Soccer Canada, Canada's premier soccer magazine.
Excuse me.
When hunger strikes, wolf down a Snickers. Loaded with peanuts, caramel, nougat, and real milk chocolate, Snickers really satisfies. When your stomach growls, wolf one down.
I didn't always have good hair days. You know, healthy looking, shiny. There were times when it was dry and dull, I admit it. Then I got into Pantene Treatment Shampoo Plus Conditioner.
The Swiss Vitamin Institute certifies our pro-vitamin content, now with more pro-vitamins than ever. Pro-vitamins penetrate while our formula improves your hair, making it healthier looking with that brilliant Pantene shine. Pantene Pro V, now with more pro-vitamins, makes your hair look so healthy it shines.
Try it, and you can expect good hair days too.
If you've ever had acid indigestion, what I'm about to show you is surprising. Think of this rose as your stomach. Watch what happens when I dip it in concentrated acid. Serious stuff. Now, watch how Pepto-Bismol coats this rose and works to protect it. Don't suffer with indigestion. Get the effective coating action of Pepto-Bismol. Serious medicine for your stomach.
Support amateur soccer by purchasing officially licensed merchandise with the Support Sport Adidas USA 94 fundraising program. Quality t-shirts and caps at great prices. Watch for the colored soccer ball brochure with the TSN World Cup program schedule on the back. For more information, call your provincial soccer association or Support Sport at 1-800-268-4518.
Great crowd here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Brazil has scored the lone goal. It came late in that first half to give Brazil the one-goal lead it enjoys at halftime here at Commonwealth Stadium.
Recognizing our top international official, please give a big round of applause.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gord Miller back on the sidelines with Dick Howard. Dick, a pretty good half for Canada until the last moments.
Fabulous half. They did everything right. They closed down the flanks. They didn't let the Brazilians get around the back. When they did, there were problems. Of course, you can't give Romario space. He took the space just before half-time, took on the defenders, the ball's in the back of the net. But a fabulous performance by Canada, closing the Brazilians down, never giving them time to settle on the ball, and that's why it's so close. But a great performance by Canada.
What do they have to do in the second?
In the second half, I think the key thing is that just to keep that momentum, you know, because the Canadian team is working hard. They're creating chances. But as I say, you cannot allow great players like Romario space because he'll do what he did just before half-time. But a fabulous performance by Canada. Tremendous.
Let's talk about Brazil down the road for the World Cup and take a look at the schedule that the Brazilians will play. Russia, Cameroon, and Sweden. A couple of interesting dark horses in Brazil's group in Russia and Cameroon. What do you think of Brazil's draw?
I was talking to Carlos Pereira. The Russian team obviously missing 3 players because of the dispute with the coach. They're always a tough team, well organized, play very similar to Canada. So, you know, that's going to be a tough one for Brazil to start the tournament. Then you've got Cameroon, and Carlos Pereira very leery of Cameroon. Big team, strong, skillful. They are very unpredictable, and he's very leery of that second game for Brazil. Third game, they play Sweden. In the Sweden game, they played them in 1990 in Italy. They won 2-1. He's hoping for a similar result this time.
Can this team win it?
They've got the potential. I think in the second half we're going to see some changes in this Brazilian team. Rai has not done what Carlos Pereira wants him to do. The 2 front players, Bebeto's been quiet, but you have to give credit for the Canadian team for not allowing Brazil to play and dictate the pace of the game.
All right, Dick, thanks very much. Coming up next, Graham and Vic stop by with their first half highlights. It's Brazil leading Canada 1-0 from Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. TSN's coverage of World Cup exhibition soccer continues in a moment.
This sports update is brought to you by Edge Gel.
Hello everyone, welcome to our TSN Control Center. In car racing today, the Milwaukee 200 roared off down the track. El Unser Jr. was looking for his second straight victory in a week. He was running a great race, moved into the lead just before the halfway point. And poor Scott Goodyear, here's a look at him on the track. His frustrating season continuing today. He started 5th but dropped all the way back to 22nd. The big battle would be between Unser and teammate Emerson Fittipaldi. Paul Tracy was in 3rd. Fittipaldi trying to pass there, but Unser staves off the attack. The race was cut short due to rain, but a great day for Roger Penske's team. His cars finished 1, 2, 3. Paul Tracy finishing 3rd. And this just in from the NBA in the Eastern Final. It was the New York Knicks defeating the Indiana Pacers by a score of 94-90. So the Knicks are going to take on the Houston Rockets Rockets, and that series will start on Wednesday. I'll be back at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Now, to each man who shaves, there's an edge all his own. Only Edge Gel has 7 custom formulas to fit every shaving need. From extra moisturizing to sensitive skin, for the closest, most comfortable shave you can get an edge of your own. Edge Gel, skincare for men. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort. That's the edge.
More than 50,000 are on hand here at Commonwealth Stadium. The second half of this World Cup friendly about set to begin. Canada and Brazil with Romario's late goal giving them the 1-0 lead as Carlos Alberto Pereira, his second tour as head coach of Brazil, looks on. And will he be happy with that first half?
Well, he'll be happy with the opposition because it is a real test for his team, and I just hope that he gives some of his younger players a chance to play in the second half. Let us have a look at them before we go into the World Cup. Let's get accustomed to seeing them because we'll see a lot of them during this upcoming USA 94.
But as we look down on the field, Graham, no substitutions, it appears, for either side, as it is still Bebeto and Romario up front, Jorginho at midfield, Ai into the middle.
And if this game goes to plan, then the Brazilians will find just a little more space in the second half. The first half was always going to be rather tight, but with the skill of the Brazilians, they could well find more spaces in the second 45 minutes.
Dunga. And as you and I have discussed, with the new format in the first round, 3 points for a win, that's what we might expect to see in the World Cup as well, as Mobilio lays it off to Ian Carter.
Good tackle. Great tackle by Aldair. Timed it perfectly.
But with 3 points now, as Lyndon Hooper makes his first touch. Lyndon Hooper is into the game for Canada as he replaces John Limniadis for Canada. Lyndon Hooper, wearing number 8, plays his soccer in Birmingham, England.
Not a bad move by Bobby Lenarduzzi. John Limniadis was more of a ball winner in midfield. Lyndon Hooper perhaps more of a creative player than Limniadis. And obviously Bobby wants to try and get a goal in this game.
But you agree that, in fact, as we get a look at a substitution for Brazil, this is 16. This is Mazinho, the 27-year-old defender, plays in the Brazilian National League for Palmeiras, and he replaces Mauro Silva. So both coaches making early substitutions. This is Zinho. Mark Watson heads it away. Watson, oh, it's too tight, and finally played back by Colin Miller. Looking forward for Carlo Corazin, and he's onside. Corazin will take control. Corazin looking for some help. Hooper is making the run. Oh, Corazin didn't see Hooper on his right, Graham, and maybe that's where the ball should have gone.
Well, it was a good tackle by number 6, Leonardo, but if Lyndon Hooper had given Carlo Corazin a shout, then they could well have broken down the right wing. Good play already by Lyndon Hooper, just into the game.
And Hooper has the ball, lays it off for Ian Carter. Dominic Mobilio near side. Mobilio one-on-one with Jorginho, and he didn't win that. Mazinho. Dunga. Can't get it by Hooper.
I'm not really surprised that Mauro Silva, the number 5 midfielder for Brazil, who plays for Deportiva La Coruña, came off. He looked like one of the training staff. Must have been 250 pounds. And in this heat, he was not doing well at all. Mazinho, much more alert, much more apt to create spaces in midfield for the Brazilians.
I know you expect the games now with 3 points in the first round to be quite tight first half, and then the teams will open it up in the second.
I think that's how you have to play in the first round of the World Cup. You have to be tight in the first half, and then with 3 points for a win. Open it up if things are not going your way. Right now, Brazil really don't have to try and open it up because they're up 1-0. But if Canada were to get a goal, then you'd see them turn it on. And I expect that to happen in the first half. Offside against Carlo Corazin.
Mr. John Nielsen on the far side. There could be some surprises. That 3 points, I think, is a terrific rule change, because some of these favorites, if they happen to be upset early, to be down 3 points in that first round will force them then to open it up.
Well, in a nutshell, what it means is that the World Cup, for the first time in a long time, is going to start from round 1 and not from round 2 as it used to.
Jorginho plays the ball square. Here's Romario trying to go through himself. Bebeto lays it back. This is Massinho. Jorginho. Dunga. Bebeto tries to slide it through.
Offside.
And offside indeed.
Yeah.
Near side linesman Gordon Rogers.
But what a beautiful ball. There's rumors that Bebeto and Romario could not play together. Boy, they've clicked beautifully. Randy Samuels did well to get goal side of this, but this is a beautiful ball. Romario just a little too far in front is offside, and actually it was Mark Watson who did well to play it back for us. Whistle had gone anyway. But these little 1-2s are just a delight to watch.
Looking for Carlo Corazin. Ian Carter. Ian Fraser. Aldair takes control now midfield. Dunga. Leonardo on the wide left. Bebeto, Romario are up front. The overlap with Zinho. And then his pass is cut off. Hooper will try to play it up. Limniadis. Dunga. Leonardo. Zinho. Leonardo. Zinho surrounded and plays it back. Dunga will play it all the way back now for Aldair. Mobilio giving chase. Oh my. Jorginho hooked it off the chest of Ian Carter.
And Jorginho is a fullback. Brilliant first touch.
We've never seen him in his fullback position. Here is Dunga.
Hit it.
Does it open up for him? Here's Bebeto. Bebeto!
Oh, my word. He thought he had a goal written all over that move. Brilliant run, brilliant pass. Craig Forrest once again forcing him to shoot it wide. I thought for sure that Dunga would shoot this ball. Instead, he slips a beautiful ball to Bebeto, turns beautifully, and it just goes past the far post. This is a beautiful turn by Bebeto. Gets clear, full marks to Forrest, forces him to shoot it wide. But boy, these through balls are just so difficult to mark, and Bebeto looks to the heavens and said, why did that not go in? Consolation pat in the back from
that's right. The courtesy paid by Mark Watson to say you had a heck of a go. Romario.
Chip it.
Romario. Brazil has more chances. They continue to lead. It's 1-0 Brazil over Canada from Edmonton.
Now national team. That number is 9327 and 271.
Welcome back as Brazil quickly on the attack again. Another chance. Zinho making the run on that left side as it just opened up and the space was there, Graham, and he simply took it.
And once again, the Brazilians opting to shoot when Bebeto, Romario, and Hai were all nicely placed in the center. Boy, they just break from defense to attack so quickly. Watch the support come up in the middle. Bebeto, Romario, Hai, all there, and it goes wide to the far post once again. Cut it back, and it would have been 2-0 Brazil.
Looking for Carlo Corazin in Canada. Randy Samuel. Dasovic can't control. Mark Watson. Lays it into empty space. Gomes makes the run. And it will run too far and be a throw-in for the Brazilians. Leonardo Dunga. Looking for Ai. This is Dunga. Dunga. Still in control. Dunga! Oh, good save by Forrest. As he waited and then, as you suggest, hit it.
Well, that's the first time that Dunga, when the ball's been sitting nicely, has decided to do it on his own instead of slipping it through to Bebeto or Romario. And you can see if you back away from these Brazilians, they'll have a goal. Beautifully hit. Craig Forrest once again comes up with a big save.
And Forrest off the corner. Forced to punch it over the bar and once again give another corner to Brazil. And there's Bebeto.
And Bebeto actually tried a shot from the corner kick there, and Forrest tipped it over the bar.
Here's an opportunity. Romario!
Hey, Romario thought he'd got number 2 there, but Craig Forrest once again certainly earning his money in goal for Canada. Very difficult corner kick to clear. It's curving in. Little flick. Forrest pushes it out. Crowd of red shirts between Romario and the goal. Really no chance to force it home.
Carlo Corazin can't get to the through ball. Aldair for Brazil. Nice sliding tackle by Ian Carter. Jorginho.
We wonder if Bobby Lenarduzzi will bring on John Catlett, because Corazin and Mobilio are having no luck in the air at all against Ricardo Gomes and Aldair. Big John certainly available on the bench. Could give them that extra challenge for the through ball.
There isn't a lot of size in those two front runners for Canada. Tafarel makes his first touch of the second half, and now we have an offside called near sideline. Gordon Rogers.
And it looks as if we will get a substitution as linesman Gordon Rogers holds the flag up.
Jeff Onger is there as well for Canada, wearing number 20. Wearing number 9 is John Catlett, the 29-year-old, plays with the Vancouver 86ers. A two-time Golden Boot winner. As top scorer in the Canadian Soccer League, John Catlett, but he has been bothered by a bit of a wonky knee. And so he replaces Carlo Corazin. John Catlett into the game for Carlo Corazin.
And Carlo Corazin certainly takes a lot of credit from his performance, challenged well. Gave Ricardo Gomes and Aldair a couple of worrying moments, but really the size of the two centre-backs a little much for Carlo Corazin to handle.
And this is where Catlett will maybe give Canada just a little bit more. Yallop plays it back, and Forrest downfield, and it's Catlett giving chase as the two keepers will play between themselves. Cooper can't control. Massinho. Bebeto. Oh, here he goes. Romario.
Beautiful.
Bringing Zinho. Zinho waits. Here's Bebeto. Bebeto once. Bebeto twice. Bebeto! And he puts it by the far post.
10 out of 10 to Craig Forrest, who stones Bebeto once again. Bebeto showing all his tricks there as he faked the shoot, pulled it past a couple of defenders. Brilliant control. Could have shot there and scored. Wanted to walk it in, but look at Craig Forrest all the way out. Flicks it past the far post for a corner kick. Great goalkeeping by the Ipswich Town keeper.
Just got his left foot to it. It remains 1-0 Brazil. Oh, Forrest! Oh, Forrest, what a save! Romario can't get to it. Another corner for Brazil, and Forrest is saying, wait a second here. How many do you want to give me?
Well, those of you who came to see the Romario show are being entertained by the Forrest show. Brilliant goalkeeping.
Bebeto to take this corner. Romario's there. Ai is there. Looking for Romario. Punched away by Forrest. Mobilio. Dominic Mobilio now. He's up there all by himself. Mazzinho is there to mark him and pushed into touch. Dominic Mobilio now has his teammate John Catliffe alongside up front, and they together really were a dominant twosome in the Canadian Soccer League.
The old 1-2 for the 86ers. Well, Craig Forrest has been absolutely outstanding. This header is flicked on, it's heading for the net. Brilliant save. And it's still 1-0, thanks mainly to Craig Forrest.
Jorginho, this is Romario. Can't get through Randy Samuel.
And for the first time in this game, the first touch of Romario lets him down. Not what you expect from the superstar striker.
Leonardo lays it off. Leonardo has it back edge of the box. Leonardo trying to get by Dasovic. Leonardo can as Dasovic gets in the way.
We have a winner in the University of Alberta Golden Bear Soccer.
Brilliant play for a fullback by Leonardo, but of course Nick Dasovic, a very versatile player, can play centre-back, fullback, or midfield, so he's quite able to contain that. And Jeff Unger comes into the game now.
And he'll replace Ian Carter. Jeff Unger, who spent half a dozen years in the Canadian Soccer League, now plays with Luton Town in England. It's remarkable, Graham, how many players out of the Canadian Soccer League have found employment now playing overseas. And one of their star players, of course, Alex Bunbury, is missing this series with a broken jaw that he suffered in his final league game playing in Portugal.
And I know Alec is really missing not playing against Brazil. He would have loved to have played against Ricardo Gomes and Aldair, and I think he would have done well.
Substitution, Jeff Unger for Carter in the 60th minute.
As we say, the substitutions will be many in this friendly. Oh, it's played back, looking for Bebeto by Jorginho, who has control now deep on the right side, and Jeff Unger in his first touch will take it and strip it from Jorginho. Dominic Mobilio lays it off to the Canadian captain. This is Colin Miller from St. Johnstone. Scottish Premier Division. Mobilio, tried to play it to Hooper, and it's given away. This is Dunga. Offside, it was Romario and Bebeto on the far left. Breaking too quickly. And now a third substitution coming up for Canada, as they will be allowed 5 outfield players as well as the goaltender. Coming in wearing number 21, the 24-year-old Eddie Berdusco, who plays with 2nd Division Ville in Switzerland, as he replaces Dominic Mobilio.
Bobby Lenarduzzi doing the right thing. This is a marvelous learning experience, and he's bringing as many players into the game as possible.
Oh, there was Aldair forced to play it back under some pressure. And the other thing too, Graham, the Canadian side, as we say, have a lot of games coming up. They play Germany Wednesday. Friday, it's Spain in Montreal, and then back to Toronto against Holland a week from today. Bob Lenarduzzi, his side trail 1-0 with under 30 minutes to play.
And he's concerned, should I put a wall up here? It's 40 yards out, but we know the Brazilians can hit it. Doesn't have to bother, they've taken it quickly, and now they'll build it up instead.
Jeff Unger for Lyndon Hooper. It'll skip by, and then the 2-8s duel, Dunga and Hooper. Leonardo lays it off. Mazzinho tried to give and go with Leonardo, and that didn't work. Miller. Mark Watson looking for Catliffe, and Catliffe runs square into Ricardo Gomes. Jeff Unger now, as he, for the first time in this game, the Commonwealth field is totally in cloud, in shadow. Dasovic, edge of the box. Catliffe, Berdusco up. Unger has moved up as well. They'll lay it back for Watson. Lyndon Hooper. Hooper under some pressure, and then Hooper hoping that Dasovic would come back. Didn't.
10 million people throughout the world.
Well, really, Miller should never have given the ball to Lyndon Hooper. 3 yellow shirts on him. He should have just knocked it into the box and let John Catliffe challenge for it, because since coming on, Catliffe has won 2 balls in the air. That's 2 more than Mobilio and Corazin won the whole of the first and second half. So Catliffe really in there to win the long balls in the air.
Oh, what a lovely ball on this right side now for Jorginho. Bebeto is calling for it. Oh, they go over the far post. Aldair had his arm up, but he needed a ladder. Dasovic to midfield. Verduzco. Watson. Jeff Onger calling for it. Wide left for Canada. Instead, they go up the right side, and Gomes cuts off the pass for Catliffe.
Well, Jeff Unger was way out in the left chanting for the ball, but it really would have been a marvelous pass for Mark Watson to get it all the way across to the left wing. Virtually impossible.
Substitution now for Brazil, and coming out of the game will be Rai, and going in will be number 20. This is Paulo Sergio, the 25-year-old who plays for Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. Gomes. Also in the game wearing number 13 is Cafu. There you see him from Sao Paulo.
One of the few players playing in Brazil in this national side.
Number 20, Paulo Sergio in Rai.
Cafu is replacing Jorginho, Graham, at the right fullback position.
Well, that's going to be a break for Canada because Jorginho has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Catliffe and Aldair come together.
That's 13 in for number 3.
So both sides now have made 3 substitutions, and they'll be allowed to make 2 more. Paulo Sergio. No problem for Greg Forrest.
What a marvelous game this young goalkeeper's had. Had a super season with Ipswich Town. Kept Ipswich in the first division by tying no score against Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park, and today he just shows why he's one of the best young goalkeepers in England.
Forrest looking for Catliffe. Paulo Sergio. Cafu. Randy Samuel, Jeff Onger. Oh, how quickly the Brazilians are on your back. Dunga. Leonardo, wide left. Zinho is in the middle, but Beto, Romario are still there. Paulo Sergio has moved up as well. Here's the chip. Romario gets up.
There's quite a contest there. Romario and Randy Samuel. Both coming out of this game with a lot of credit. Good challenge by Samuel.
Remarkable when you look at him. I mean, they do call him. His nickname is the Brazilian Maradona. He does have the same kind of stature, doesn't he? He's low to the ground.
Same kind of build, same kind of balance.
Catliffe can't control Verduzco as Cafu foots it away. Fraser, Hooper, Onger, one touch. Colin Miller. Will he get there in time? No, it'll run too quickly.
There are so many of you in the stands that are taking this long to count the ground. Give yourselves a big round of applause.
Cafu. Colin Miller giving chase. Cafu makes the run. Now it's Ian Fraser who takes over. Cafu trying to get through and draw the penalty. Play on, says the referee, Mr. Mendoza.
Well, we thought we got rid of an overlapping fullback when Jorginho went off, but Cafu just went 80 yards there and crossed it in.
It's one of the interesting things. That comes right out of their game notes. Cafu, he plays both defense and midfield. Aldair. Dunga at midfield. Verduzco there to mark him. This is Cafu. Dunga. Ricardo. Gomes. Romario. Leonardo. Near post. Sergio. Paulo Sergio into the open arms of Craig Forrest. Jeff Onger to midfield. Catliffe. Heels it off, and it comes back to Catliffe. Onger. Dasovic is wide right for Canada. They'll go through the middle. Verduzco to Hooper, and this is the Canadian captain, Colin Miller. Has a look for Dasovic. Dasovic, here's Verduzco, surrounded by 3 yellow shirts. Moving up is Mark Watson. Chips it into the box, looking for Dasovic, but it doesn't reach him. Paolo Sergio. Cafu. And Tafarel, who, except for a couple of challenges, won by Dasovic midway through the first half, hasn't been very busy. Paolo Sergio looking for the call from Mr. Mendoza. Doesn't get it. Jeff Onger. Oh, onside! Onside! Verduzco! Verduzco!
What a great ball this is, played through. Watch Eddie Verduzco catch them short at the back. Takes one step to control, hammers it into the far side, and Brazil caught dreaming as Eddie Verduzco makes it 1-1. This really is a beautiful ball chipped through. No cover in the Brazilian defense, and the finish is clinical, absolutely clinical. The speed of Eddie Verduzco catches the Brazilian defense napping, and it's 1-1.
Eddie Verduzco, who was the Canadian Soccer League Rookie of the Year in 1988, the Golden Boot winner in 1992 when he scored 14 goals, will likely, possibly never score one bigger than that. He has scored against Brazil. We're all even. Canada, Brazil from Edmonton.
And Brazil have been in cruise control. Let's see if they can turn it up a couple of gears. Almost.
There was Zinho putting it up over the bar. Oh my. It's 1-1 Canada-Brazil on TSN.
We're in a garbage crisis. One reason McCain chose to pack their juices in these.
Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium, and it is still buzzing. Eddie Verduzco's goal in the 70th minute has Canada even with Brazil, 1-1. Vic Roeder along with Graham Leggett, as well as Gord Miller and Dick Howard to provide analysis of this friendly between Brazil and Canada.
And you know, John Catliffe didn't really touch the ball in that move, but he helped create that goal because he took big Aldair out of the center position. Eddie Verduzco turned quickly, there were no cover, and boy, the finish was beautiful.
This is Aldair, Romario, here's Babetto making the run, and Forrest will beat him to the ball. Well, a remarkable crowd on hand. They had sold more than 47,000 tickets, and on an exceptional day here in Edmonton, the thought was a crowd in the 55,000 area, and they've been treated to a terrific game. Lyndon Hooper. Well, we looked for Dasovic making the run on the right, Graham, but it was cut off. Cafu.
Offside.
Near sideline, Mr. Gordon Rogers calling it down.
And Babetto giving the linesman and the referee, Mr. Mendoza, a little bit of an argument, but I think he's going to lose.
And the Canadians are going to make another substitution, Graham, as coming in wearing number 18 is Rudy Deliscat, who plays for the Montreal Impact of the APSL. Deliscat scored the lone goal against Morocco this past week, and he replaces Nick Dasovic. Rudy Deliscat from Montreal.
Good move, strong runner. He'll challenge for every ball in midfield and get a chance to break through. Nick Dasovic did very well filling that hole over on the right wing. Free kick. Dunga getting the yellow card because he just clipped John Catlett while he passed him.
Mazinho, the 27-year-old, gets the yellow card from the referee, Mr. Mendoza.
Strong challenge by Catlett and Miller, and down goes Catlett. Now watch as he goes past. It's Dunga. It's not number 16 Mazinho. It's Dunga that just clipped Catlett with his foot.
Played into the box, and it went just the other way as Verduzco looked to make the flick toward.
He didn't come off his line, but he always blocked the header.
Deep run. Zinho, Mark Watson watching. This is Leonardo just outside the box. Leonardo. Zinho. Babetto is up. Romario now he'll hit it to Dunga. Dunga! And over the bar.
Great deliver the city of champions. Today's official attendance, 51,937.
Well, there we go. Remarkable attendance. Just shy of 52,000 on hand at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. And they have been treated to a wonderful game. It's 1-1, Canada and Brazil.
Congratulations, Edmonton, the largest crowd ever to watch a soccer game in Canada, and the Canadian team responding to it.
Forrest over midfield. Catlett wins the ball. This is Verduzco. Verduzco for Doliscat. Chips it right back. Here comes Tafarel. From Tafarel to Greg Forrest. Edge of the box. Catlett chips it far post. Leonardo Hooper can't get up over Mazinho as we now have 10 minutes remaining. 1-1 Brazil and Canada from Commonwealth Stadium. Eddie Verduzco, Doliscat chips it. Far post, Catlett! And he can't get there.
Well, the substitutes are playing well, but Dusko to Hooper, chip to the far post. Catlett challenges Cafu, and it's an easy save for Tafarel.
Jeff Onger. Oh, he gives it away at midfield. Mazinho, then surrounded by red shirts. Ian Fraser for Verduzco. Hooked away by Cafu, and now the Brazilians will try and slow it down. Paulo Sergio gives it away at midfield. Lyndon Hooper looking for a little help. Doliscat. This is Verduzco. Oh, nice sliding tackle by Ricardo Gomes to take the ball away from Verduzco. Leonardo down the far sideline, and he will win the free kick. Mazinho. Aldair. Cafu. Aldair as the Brazilians play it square. Zinho. Romario. Leonardo. And it bounces off Rudy Doliscat. Laid off for Dunga. Oh, lovely Romario. Bebeto, Romario, and it rattles off of Jeff Onger.
8 red shirts back there to form the thin red line right along the edge of the penalty box. Impossible for Romario to get it through.
Romario quickly feels the presence of Randy Samuel on his back. And then the through ball forward for Eddie Verduzco is too far. Oh, Gomes.
They love to put work on the ball, even if it's dangerous.
Cafu. Little heel pass. Cafu. Paulo Sergio. Bebeto. Romario. Zinho are all in the box. Paulo Sergio far post. And over Bebeto. Zinho. This is Leonardo. Leonardo. Bebeto.
Oh, and Bebeto should have played the 1-2 back to Leonardo. He could have walked it in.
It's called hurry up now for Brazil as they look to possibly get the winner here. It's 1-1, Canada and Brazil. A reminder to stay with us right after the game for the TSN Turning Point. Brought to you by Armor All.
To prove that Armor All and that's that X keep.
It's 1-1, Canada and Brazil. This World Cup friendly exhibition prior to USA 94. Dunga, square for Aldair. Bebeto makes a little bit of an overlapping run towards the middle as they play it square. Halfway line, now Dunga chips it forward for Paulo Sergio. Craig Forrest had an ideogram about coming out and then he hustled back.
And Paulo Sergio saw him do that. Try to chip it over the goalkeeper, but good work by Ian Fraser. Never give Paulo Sergio 1 inch of room to move.
5 minutes remaining. 1-1, Canada and Brazil. Dolascat. Zinho wins the ball. This is Zinho. Far sideline, gets away from Hooper. And now it is Colin Miller with the challenge, and Miller is going to pick up the yellow card for bringing down Zinho from Mr. Mendoza.
Well, Mr. Mendoza's been at least consistent in awarding these yellow cards. Colin Miller came in from behind on Massinho, referee right there. Players will accept that as long as he's consistent.
Brazil plays the ball square, right side. This is Cafu, Aldair, Paulo Sergio, Bebeto, Romario, all in the box, but the ball to the far post is too far.
Full marks to Colin Miller for going in here, but he did come in from behind on Massinho, and the referee from Mexico, Mr. Mendoza, quick to reach for the yellow card. 50,000 at Commonwealth Stadium. Canada won, Brazil won. How many people would have thought that would be the scenario with about 4 minutes to go?
Not very many as the ball ricochets between Gomes and Catliffe. Leonardo far left. Bebeto, Romario, Paulo Giorgio are all up front. Massinho gets the ball right back. Romario. Oh, this time, again, that first touch is failing on Graham. You pointed that out earlier.
Good challenge by Colin Miller, though.
Zinho, through ball. Leonardo, nice play defensively by Rudy Dolascat. Zinho, Brazil, picking it up now, looking for what could be their winning goal. in a 1-1 tie, chipping it through. Oh, Mario.
And ball.
Bobby Lenarduzzi, his side 1-1 with Brazil, wants to wish a happy 7th birthday to his daughter, Sonny. And we wish you a happy birthday as well, Sonny. And celebrate. It's a happy birthday in a 1-1 tie. Catliffe gets up, and there's the size, Graham, paying some dividends for Canada. Again, he wins the ball over Mazinho. Rudy Dolescat in the sunshine again here at Commonwealth. Forward and cleared away by Gomes. Well, if you believe what they were saying, some of the reporters before, Graham, this is going to be a disaster for Brazil and their soccer. There's going to be a lot of analysis. Verduzco cuts it back, and it didn't get through to Catliffe.
You got to give full marks to Yallop, Samuel, Watson and Fraser. The back four for Canada, along with the goalkeeper Craig Forrest, have been absolutely magnificent.
Oh, and look at Onger. He has won the corner.
And yeah, Bobby Lenarduzzi wants to win this game. He's not keeping Randy Samuels back to mark. Romario is bringing him right up to the far post. Catliffe at the near post for the flick on. Samuel at the far post.
Javanger, far post. Verduzco, no, Cafu got up. Aldair was there as well. It'll be a throw-in for Canada.
Aldair, the centre-back, limping badly after that challenge.
Here is Verduzco. Verduzco, edge of the area. Mazinho is there, looking for a little help, a little overlap with Catliffe, and then he's surrounded. Catliffe will win it back.
He's going to have to give the free kick, so coming in from behind once again. In this World Cup, you'll see every tackle from behind blown up right away. And I'm really surprised that Brazil did not have the ability to raise the game once they'd been that equalizing goal by Verduzco had been scored.
Leonardo. Pimento. Romario is wide right. Oh, my goodness. He laid it off. I don't know if he thought Jeff Onger was a Brazilian or not, but he gave it nicely to him.
Well, maybe Jeff Onger, if he knows a little Brazilian call for it, just said square.
One last substitution for Brazil. As coming out is Aldair, who was limping, as you say, and coming in wearing number 15 is Marcio Santos.
Santos 10. And number 3, Aldair out.
Into the final few minutes here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Canada won. Brazil won. This final tune-up for the Brazilians before USA 94. The chip through, and no problem. 1-1 bounce. Craig Forrest is there in front of a charging Bebeto. And there's the whistle, and Canada has tied Brazil 1-1.
And no look about the score. A very well played game, entertaining for all the full 90 minutes, and Canada certainly deserving a tie. Brazil got no complaints about the result. Romario, the goal scorer for Brazil. Eddie Verduzco on a substitute, the goal scorer for Canada. 1-1. An unbelievable day here at Commonwealth Stadium.
Craig Forrest.
What a performance. The young goalkeeper was absolutely magnificent, and Taffarel the first to shake his hand. Brilliant.
Come on, we can do better than that as they leave the field with a standing ovation.
Nearly 52,000 on hand, and the Canadians have reason to celebrate their 1-1 tie with Brazil. And won't this raise a lot of questions about the Brazilian side? Not only now have they finished a game where they tie 1-1, they have to face the Brazilian media. Lyndon Hooper coming on as a substitution. Craig Forrest acknowledges this record crowd